it's not, men see it as a scale, that if you are up, I'm down, and if you are I am up, you're down. That's not what we want. We want to be in peaceful, respectful coexistence. We want to be valued for our humanness, for carrying the soul that God gave in all human beings, not being seen as a piece of meat, not being sexualized from the age of 9, 10, whenever menstruation starts, and being blocked from expressing ourselves, from meaningfully educating ourselves, from contributing to the society. That's what we want. That's what Islamic, because it goes back to the Islamic principles, feminism is. And that's why I dearly insist in calling it what it is, because it is feminism, and it's not misandry, it's feminism. We don't want to oppress anyone, but we want to be decent. God made this Khalifa. And even the word Khalifa, again, it's so beautiful. The Quran is so beautiful. What is the gender of the word Khalifa?
It's got ta marbuta, which is the feminine.
Feminine. Khalifa, it's a feminine. Every woman is a Khalifa. We are here to represent God in our actions, but also in the respect that we receive and the way we're being heard. So that's what Islamic feminism is. Go back to the principles, check whether the Quran and the tradition and the Prophet loved and respected women so much. And if we have that there, then what we do, we dismantle, or we trace, and then we find where the problem started. When did the corruption started? Why it started? And we kind of dismantle this false Jenga, and we go back to the roots. That's the rights God gave me, and I will not negotiate. I will not accept anything less than that.
Brilliant. Now, you've spoken for perhaps 1 million Muslim women. The voice is very, very clear. The passion is palpable. And this is exactly what we need, this kind of, because there is an imbalance right now online. We hear a lot from one perspective, and that one perspective speaks on behalf of the other perspective. And so it's an imbalance. There has to be a balance. Now, I'd like to mention this because I'm sure this interview will probably garner a lot of views for the wrong reason. So far, nothing you've said, although it may be shocking to many people, is anti-Islamic. Nothing you've said so
I can't do anything about that.
Nothing you've said so far goes against the principles of Islam. In fact, I would say that the companions at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, for example, Umar ibn Khattab, he made a pronouncement that when Islam came, it was as if this was revealed for the women, because they were inheriting for the first time. They had the right
Yes.
to initiate divorces. They began to question all this suddenly what happened. And the Prophet ﷺ in public, when they questioned him, who do you love the most? Min nas. Man ahabba ilayka min nas. Who amongst the people in generality do you love the most? Ya Rasulullah, I said Aisha. And then they said, no, we mean when we say nas, we mean men. We don't count the women. Yeah? And so he said Abuha, her father. He connected it back to her. He didn't say Abu Bakr. He didn't give the name that he gave the first time. He said Abuha, her father. So he made it known. On one occasion, he was with his companions and he asked them, what do you love the most in this world? And they mentioned things, hunting, fighting, fasting. And he said, women, prayer, and perfume. Women in the sense of the essence, not the sexualized. We live in a sexual.
Exactly.
Women.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because in the public consciousness, they always link this with the sexuality of the woman. It's not the sexuality. It's the woman. It's the brain, the essence, the attributes. Thank you for saying.
In fact, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you look at his pronouncements, if he were alive today, many of the men who go against would actually perhaps blame him of being a feminist. He said, for example, that if you buy gifts for your children, when you come home, you give to the daughters first. They take precedence before the boys. He also mentioned whoever raises 3 daughters looks after them to the point to which they get married, paradise for them. And so what if one have 2 daughters? What if one even one? That incentive is not explicitly stated for boys. It's only said for girls. Our Rasul also said, the greatest ni'mah, the greatest blessing and bounty a man can attain in this life before paradise is what? Mar'atu salihah, a righteous woman. And we can go on and on and on. He was very clear. He even made a dua. He said that I am the protector of the two weak ones, or the two who need protection. Who? Women and the orphans. I am the safe, the guardian of these two. I preserve their honor and dignity. And I think many men today forget that. Rather than being guardians, we are now being, we're the ones attacking the women. We're the ones looking down and speaking against our sisters. So I think in the tradition of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have to remind one another that this Islam, even Ar-Rahman, every chapter except for one chapter, it begins with Ar-Rahman. That name Rahman comes from where? The womb.
Yes,
Womb.
yes,
Islam is
yes.
wonderful, it's profound, and I think